So what happens with a spun rod bearing? Well, this is what answered my question today. This is what a spun rod bearing looks like. The other half is not much better. So basically, what happens is, this is a good or better one that I pulled out of the car, and you can see here, there's a little notch in the rod bearing. Well, there's another notch in on the journal of the connecting rod inside of the block itself, and this notch allows it to sit there. But this is very soft metal, so what happens is when this notch wears off, whether you run out of oil or something along those lines, and that seemed to be common in this particular car that I took apart today, or this motor, these go away. So then the bearings themselves actually spin instead of the crank spinning on the bearings. So then this happens, which causes play in the connecting rod against the crank, and that's how you get a knock. Now, they're not hard to change. You just gotta take the end caps off and put new bearings on, and as long as it hasn't gouged the crank up, you can keep going. But if you have the gouged crank, like this actually did, these bearings actually did gouge the crank, but not enough to see on the camera. You would have to get the crank recut and then put new bearings on it. So that, and the fact that this motor had gouges in the cylinder walls, I'm glad I didn't bother rebuilding it. But this is what a good one is supposed to look like. You can see, again, you can see the notch, and this is what a bad one looks like. And that's basically what happens with a spun rod bearing.